Would you believe me if I said we're all currently involved in an ongoing revolution? It's a silent revolution, and although it's still rather unknown, it will soon affect our writing and the way we communicate in the digital era. What on earth could that be, you may ask? And the answer is, the Anoto functionality is here. Vive la révolution! For more than 6,000 years, mankind has developed forms of written communication. For example, painting onto cave walls, drawing in sand, engraving onto clay plates, or carving in marble. However, it was writing with ink, with a writing tool on paper, that proved to be the winning combination, and has over the centuries become a natural part of human activity.
To write is to think, and the most important part in the thinking process is to structure your thoughts. And the pen is easy to bring along, it's light, and the construction is actually genius because of its simplicity. You don't have to worry about electricity or technical difficult manuals. You can understand how you use it. And that simplicity, I think, is the reason that the pen always will be a dominating tool for writing.
Since the introduction of electronic writing machines, our writing has also become processable and globally transferable. Today, we can't even imagine how it would be to live without the ability to instantly send and receive faxes, emails, and all other forms of written documentation. But for our documents to be processable, we've had to use a computer for input. Up until now.
Well, actually, the first idea behind the Anoto pen we had some time ago, I think 3 or 4 years ago. While working with the C pen, we realized the C pen could read text, then it could read coordinates. And by putting some ink on top of that, we could do a writing instrument. Then we sort of forgot about that, and while developing an optical mouse based on the C pen technology, the engineers working on that project actually invented the grid pattern. So actually we didn't develop a mouse, we actually developed the Anoto pen during that project, and that's how it started.
The Anoto standard consists of a unique printed pattern and a digital pen. The pen scans the pattern as you write or draw and transforms these pen strokes into digital information that can be relayed to your personal computer or the internet. What this means may at first be hard to grasp. Why is this a revolution? Well, what the Anoto functionality does is to combine the immense power of modern digital communication with the world's most common and intuitive interface, pen and paper. Imagine that every piece of paper from now on can be connected to the internet, and that almost any digital process can be operated with pen and paper as the interface.
There is a very straight connection between the thinking, the use of the hand, and the use of the pen. I mean, we think with our hands. I mean, we count on our fingers because we can't keep track of it otherwise. And the pen has been adapted to our hands so that it's very easy to use the pen and together with the paper. And it's a kind of amplification of our thinking.
When sketching and writing by hand, we structure our thoughts, which actually improves our thinking process. Therefore, it's probably safe to say that sketchbooks and notepads are here to stay. Let's look a little closer at how the Anoto standard works in a notebook application. Everyone that has been in a work group meeting knows the importance of taking notes. Everyone also agrees that it would be great to retrieve this information on your own personal computer after the meeting. But for most people, typing information directly onto a computer is painstakingly slow. Nothing beats the versatility and speed of pen and paper. In this situation, the notebook itself is manufactured by one of Anoto's partners, and that gives it drastically increased functionality. Printed on the notebook paper is the fine Anoto pattern, hardly visible to the naked eye. The pattern is actually a very fine coordinate system. The spacing between the grid lines is only 0.3 millimeters. But instead of printing the actual grid, the Anoto pattern consists of tiny dots by the intersections of the grid. The dots are never placed straight onto the grid intersection, but slightly to the left, right, under or above. This means any single dot can be placed in 4 possible positions relative to the grid. This displacement is used for encoding coordinates into the pattern itself. Coordinates are encoded into a matrix of 6 by 6 dots, so mathematically we have 4 positioning possibilities in 36 different dots. This is 4 to the power of 36, which is the same as 2 to the power of 72 possible different coordinates. The combined area of all these possible different squares of 6 by 6 dots equals an area of 60 million square kilometers. In other words, the Anoto pattern is large enough to print on a paper surface which exceeds the total area of Europe and Asia combined.
The main benefit of having a special pattern printed on the paper is that you can make the paper aware of the application that you're currently using. So that means, for instance, that if you want to send a fax, you would use a fax paper. For a calendar entry, you would use a calendar paper. And the paper itself would carry the context of what you're doing at the specific moment, and thereby relieving the user from the pressure of having to switch between application and selecting actively in, let's say, a menu system or something like that.
The pattern can be printed with any standard industrial printing process, such as offset printing or digital printing, virtually without any increase in costs. Not only can it be printed on paper, but also surfaces such as plastic or milk cartons and soft drink cans. Consider the digital paper space as a sort of real estate. Partners that join in can reserve any amount of paper space for use in their own applications. Most parts are for sale, but over there the pattern is reserved for notebooks, and over there a calendar manufacturer has his lot. And just there is some space reserved for graphical SMS messages, and there Post-it Notes has just bought some real estate. When you write with a digital pen on a digital paper, the Anoto pattern is recognized by a miniature video camera built into the digital pen. As you write, the camera samples coordinates from the paper, and the flow of coordinate information is stored in the pen's memory. And this means any type of graphics written with the pen can be reproduced digitally. A digital pen may come in many shapes. Design is determined by manufacturers working in partnership with Anoto, but principally all pens work like this. When the cap is removed, power turns on. A rechargeable battery supplies power to all the components. As with any pen, it contains a standard ink cartridge that is user replaceable. Next to the tip of the pen is a miniature video camera from which images are sent to a processor translating image information into pattern coordinates that are stored in a memory. The memory can hold about 50 pages full of notes and scribbles. The memory also holds a pen ID and the user's preferences. The camera only looks at a small portion of the pattern at a time, approximately 2 by 2 millimeters. The camera takes about 50 snapshots of the pattern each second and sends them to the pen's processor. The processor's job is to translate the graphical dots of the Anoto pattern into machine-readable digital data. Firstly, it turns the grayscale image into a black and white binary image. As the pen is held at an angle, the snapshot has some perspective errors that are corrected by the processor. The image is given the correct two-dimensional perspective and is then rotated to keep the pattern consistent, no matter how the pen or paper is orientated. The image is translated into X and Y coordinates by calculating the offsets of the dots through some very simple maths that looks like this. On a notebook used during this meeting, there are special fields and checkboxes. The pattern used in these magic box areas is immediately recognized by the pen as being activation areas. In this case, the send box on the notebook paper tells the pen to send its stored information to a predefined device, which here is a nearby laptop. The information is sent from the pen to the laptop using Bluetooth transmission.
The technical aspects of Bluetooth is that it's low power consumption, small size and low cost. But apart of that, the most important thing is that all the world, 2,500 companies, has teamed up behind Bluetooth so they can talk to each other, these devices.
When we started Bluetooth, there was stuff that it has value for today, but what we're really excited about is what it's going to enable in the future. And so what the creative technology is bringing together two technologies in a thing like the Anoto pen example, I think is exactly why we think this is a significant technology and why there's so much interest of what may come. When people will really become to know what Bluetooth is going to happen when these products hit the market and when lots of companies are going to be promoting the benefits of Bluetooth in their products. And we see that beginning to happen now.
The Bluetooth transceiver built into the top of the pen can establish contact with other Bluetooth-capable devices within 10 meters, such as this laptop with a Bluetooth card in the PC card slot. Here, there is a direct connection between the pen and the laptop, and a connection to the internet is not necessary. Another fascinating part of the Anoto functionality is the possibilities of sending your handwritten messages to someone else instantly. Just imagine how much of your emotions and personality that gets lost in text typed on a computer. And in many countries, the written language is not made up from an alphabet, but from signs and symbols, whose varieties simply can't be fitted onto a keyboard. Now, notepads, calendars, even post-it stickers can hold the Anoto functionality to send faxes or emails so they can be read in just the same way as they were written. Here, a user wants to send a quick email. The email address is written in a special text field that evokes the intelligent character recognition functionality in the pen that identifies the address in a machine-readable form. By checking the activation box that says Send, we tell the pen to send its information. But to send email, we must connect to the internet. And the Bluetooth transmitter inside the digital pen only communicates within 10 meters. We need a stronger transmitter connected to a network for relaying our traffic. Where shall we get that from? New mobile phones are equipped with Bluetooth communication ports. A Bluetooth connection is established between the digital pen and the mobile phone. The phone then connects to any available network and opens a data connection to an internet node. And hey presto, our paper is online. Much as with a mobile phone, a pen incorporating Anoto functionality has a unique identification number. The owner of a pen is a subscriber on the network whose pen identity is known. This is what happens when the address text field is filled in and the send box checked. First, the pen connects to a paper lookup service, PLS. This is a directory lookup service that identifies the pen and the operator to which the pen has a subscription. Furthermore, the PLS identifies what kind of application the service request is initiated from and registers the event for billing purposes. The PLS then returns a URL address to the pen on where to send the email. Now the pen can send the message via the phone to the correct service provider's email server, from where it is then sent on to the recipient. The linking of handwriting and digital communication opens up immense possibilities when it comes to all kinds of services. You can say that field users of Anoto-enabled pens and paper basically carry around a large stack of disposable computer screens in the form of notepads, fill-out forms, or catalogues. Now, speaking of catalogues, that's an area where Anoto functionality certainly can make life a little easier. In an Anoto-enabled mail order catalogue, the process of ordering can be simplified to a large extent. All you have to do is tick a box. Since every pen has a unique identity, a credit card account can be pre-linked to the pen.
That's okay.
So whenever you order something, its cost can be securely drawn from your account without the need to fill in or transfer card numbers or show ID. Here, the Anoto standard doesn't only make e-service easier, it also makes it secure.
The Anoto standard is secure because all transactions use either RSA or RSA in combination with AES, the Advanced Encryption Standard. The 1024-bit RSA key is comparable to banking standards, and the 128-bit AES key is comparable to military standard for today.
In this case, when you place an order by ticking the send box, the pen connects via a mobile phone and contacts the Paper Lookup Service, PLS, which identifies the pen and the requested service. Both the pen and the server performs authentication to ensure information transfers securely. The PLS registers the pen's request for billing and statistics, and then returns address information to the pen on where to send the actual order. The order, in its turn, is sent via the mobile phone through the data connection provided by the network operator to a service provider. The service provider's server routes the order to the retailer, in this case the mail order company, who ships the goods according to the information supplied with the order. It's easy to see that a lot of participation is necessary for achieving the full benefits of the Anoto functionality, linking handwriting with digital communication. Cooperation between different partners is a must to establish a fully operational infrastructure. The founding company, Anoto, provides the fundamental principles and tools, but the door is open for others to join in the partnership.
We want to work in a network because our vision to create a digital paper standard, world digital paper standard, can only be achieved in partnership with other companies. Initially, we're building the infrastructure. So we are looking for paper companies, pen producing companies, and the operators. But basically all companies can be part of our partnership, all the service developers, which can be any company. A lot of new services which we have not seen today and we don't know what they will be, will come out of this new concept, and we think everybody can be part of this partnership.
We decided to make the collaboration with Anoto because for us it's really the possibility to offer our customers new added values and new functionalities on the paper, within the paper.
This company is together with Anoto on the leading edge of technology, so we will be perceived as an innovation company rather than the old-fashioned image some of our brands maybe would have. So I think it will affect our businesses so much so far that people are saying this is really leading edge technology company, which we would rather be than, you know, just a paper converter or whatever.
私どもがアノトの技術を非常に興味を持ったのは2つありまして、1つは非常にユニークなテクノロジーであるということ。そしてそのテクノロジーを世界標準にしようとしていること。もちろんその新しいテクノロジーの中には Bluetooth という非常に新しい世代の通信技術が入っていることも含めて、その2点でアノトのテクノロジーを非常に興味を持って迎え入れました。
The principle of our business model is revenue sharing, meaning that all our partners will have a part of all services generated through our functionality.
Anoto to enter this market is, I think, very perfect. Well, in Europe, I think mobile internet has not been taken off yet due to many reasons, but the biggest difference in Japan is that we have more than 30 million users using mobile internet almost every day, and we already have the market. So